6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel for a very different looking show for a change. The weekly warm-up. Now this will be done, so the weekend warm-up. This will be normally done on a Saturday morning, but because I was at the match yesterday, and obviously the Cup Charity Shield was played today. Congratulations, Crystal Palace, by the way. Pretty happy about that one, being a Newcastle fan, as you can imagine. But we've got an array of guests on for this show. We've got Arsenal fan, Spurs fan, Everton fan, Villa fan. And of course, we've got Martin, who is running a little bit late, who is a Man City fan. So we want to discuss the whole Premier League, especially the fixtures. But for this show, we're going to talk about ingoings, outgoings, and what everyone thinks the season's going to be like. So it's going to be very interesting. So I'll quickly go through the chat as we always do. Welcome to the new show on Through Black My Eyes, looking at the entire Premier League season. It's just going to be fun. Please like and subscribe. Do the usual stuff. You know what I mean. Congratulations to Palace. Great to see Jules in the house as always, and Gary as well. Who else is in the house tonight? Gary, got Ian. We've got Tony. Fantastic. I had something similar the other day. Mine must be something wrong with someone's sound. I'm hoping this sound is all right. I think it is. Right, let's bring our first guest in. He's a TikTok sensation. It's Reno. How are we doing?
Sensational. I don't know about
sensation. Absolute TikTok sensation.
Thank you very much. I suppose I'm the senior citizen, aren't I?
Well,
guys.
There might be a challenge to that. I'm not too sure, but we'll soon find out.
We'll find out. It's good to see you again. Anyway.
Elton's got his hand up already.
We'll find out, won't we?
Right, now we have Spurs fan FC. He is not allowing his name because his account is hidden behind who he is. So welcome.
Hello. Hello.
FC. How are we doing? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, thank you.
Good. Thanks for agreeing to do this.
No, happy to get involved.
I love it. It's got a great account on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it these days. So as you can see, it's there in his aviator. Give him a follow. We also have the legend, and he is a legend. He'll probably won't agree with me, but we've got Elton Wellsbury.
Well, I'm certain I am the senior citizen.
Okay.
Of that, there is no doubt.
Okay. I'll bow down to. I don't. You only look about 66, 67. So.
You can add a bit to that.
Okay.
How are we doing, Elton?
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Good. It's great to have you back on. It's been a while. Obviously, I didn't think you'd be too interested in Newcastle transfer shows, so. That's all we've been talking about the last 4 weeks. It's been fun. And we also have Sean, the Villa fan. How are we doing, Sean?
Hey, how you doing?
Very good, man. Loving the tash.
Thank you very much. I like to think a young Des Lynam.
How dare you?
My apologies,
Brilliant. Martin says he'll be 15 minutes, so we'll crack on a little bit because obviously we've got a lot to go through. We're going to go through alphabetical order, and I have been cheeky. I have put Bournemouth at the front because it is AFC Bournemouth. So we'll talk about them first of all. So they've had a bit of a rocky transfer window. Kerkered's going, Houston going to Real Madrid very early on. However, they have kept a hold of some big players, Evan Nielsen, Cliver, and Semenyo. Reno, looking at Bournemouth, are you worried about them this season?
I only worry about my own team. To be honest, I'm being honest. I'm not going to lie.
You are. We talk about every other team, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, when you say I'm worried for them, I don't think they'll do as well as they did last season. But it depends what you mean by worry. They're never going to get relegated. They've still got a good team. I think their manager is a good manager. Has the style of play suited to the players now. But I think they came 9th last season.
They did.
I don't see them being 9th this season. I think they're going to go down slightly. That's my opinion, honestly. They've got a couple of new players, but nobody in the class of Houston and Kirkis.
She wants to say night to Daddy, which she knows she's being naughty because she should be upstairs.
No.
Night.
Good night, beautiful.
Night.
Go on. Go.
Anyway, that's my thing. I think they've got a couple of players, but not as good as the players they've lost, and they are quality players. Houston.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I'd probably pitch them at about the same level. A little bit of a drop off from last season. It'll be a test for the manager because he took a lot of praise last year. It was linked to some big clubs. That move didn't happen, but now his defence has been decimated. And I think have they lost the keeper as well? I think possibly, and Zabani might be going as well. But it'll be a test to see how they do. I don't think they'll get relegated. There'll be too many worse teams than them. But mid-table or top or bottom half, I have them.
I would agree with that. Elton, very quickly, there's a question from Choppy for you. Why does Alan Parry always mention Liverpool when Liverpool weren't playing?
Alan Parry? You mean the ex-commentator?
It must be, yeah.
Well, Alan Parry is from Liverpool and he's a Liverpool fan. There you go.
That's a very quick on that one, wasn't it? I love it. Sean, we'll come to you because your team, Aston Villa, obviously very disappointed they missed out on Champions League football by goal difference, obviously to Newcastle.
It's quite a last day.
Yeah, I mean that's cost you big time by the looks of things. You've obviously had to let Rashford go and Asensio go, and you've only brought in, as far as I'm aware, is it Guzand?
We've also brought in. Well, we brought in a couple of others, but he is the sort of main name that we brought in. Right. He looks a capable striker. He was player of the season for them last year. Scored 12, I think, in the French league. We brought in Ozcan. We brought in Redmond from Feyenoord as well. I'm not too worried. I think we'll probably compete around about the same area this year. I'm more confident. It's more about our manager. He knows how to make things work. Yeah. I trust when he is getting rid of players. A lot of people made a lot of sound about John Duran going in the middle of the season last year, but I think he was upsetting things a little bit on the training ground because I know he wasn't happy about not being first team, which any good striker should be, but you can't have that about if the squad is settled. And then going with Bournemouth, as you were talking about, I'm quite concerned about them, to be honest. I think they could have a bit of a rough year because Kepa was a big reason for why they looked so good at the back last season. And when you've got a player who is, I think, that much better than maybe the defence in front of him, it's going to be a tricky year for them. Because you're looking at the clubs coming up as well. I don't think Leeds are going to do badly. So that's one spot where probably likelihood they normally, like last year, you look at the three clubs coming up, end up being the three clubs going down, etc. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I don't think Everton are going to be fighting with relegation either. So someone's got to be down there by pure probability and mathematics. And I think I don't know. I think they're going to have a tough year.
I think they are in danger of being pulled down there, but that's why I think it'll be a test for the manager. We'll find out his credentials, how good he actually is with all the like you said, Kepa going and the other defensive players going, and if he's as good as everybody says he is, he should keep them more or less safe. But we'll come to Brentford in a we'll come to Brentford in a moment. But I think they could be in danger. But just go back to Villa. You haven't made too many signings, but you've got a good squad, and I'd be happy if I was a Villa fan. I think you were extremely unlucky last year. I think you were better than Newcastle, and I think you got a real chance of winning the Europa this season. I think.
Yeah, I'm quite a pragmatist as a Villa fan. I'm not quite starry-eyed. It's easy to sort of be like, oh well, we should be here. So, yeah, all right. Let's not forget 4 years ago we were sitting in Championship. Let's not.
Fair point.
You know, and I think as well, having been relegated, it does serve you a slice of humble pie that you do have in recent memory. You know that things are not. So you make the best of the good times, and being in the UEFA Cup, we all know its record. So
yeah, I think I'd put you as favourites. No, really? I would have said, I would have said you or Palace, but it doesn't look like Palace are going to be there. I fancy you much more over Forest. I don't fancy Forest at all.
Very interesting. Elton Villa have done well to keep a hold of Watkins, Rodgers, and Martinez at the moment as well, because there was a lot of talk about Martinez leaving and a talk about Watkins leaving as well.
The window's not closed yet.
I know, I agree. They've kept them so far, so it's not looking too bad.
Yeah.
They finished on 66 points, the same as Newcastle last season.
Yeah.
It's disappointing for them.
I think Villa will not be as quite as good as they were last season. You've got to bear in mind the Premier League, it's got 3 different divisions in it: Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. I expect Villa to be sort of near the top of Division 2, and Brentford around about halfway in Division 2, maybe a little bit lower.
Well, we'll come to Brentford soon.
Sorry, I meant Bournemouth. Did I say Brentford?
Bournemouth, yeah.
I've got Brentford on my mind because they're the club I think could well suffer.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a lot to go through with Brentford. We'll come to Arsenal and Reno first of all. Obviously, Gyökeres and Madueke in, Tomisu and Tineri out. You've kept most of your big players. Do you feel now you've got that missing puzzle to potentially win the league next season?
No.
Or this season? No?
Definitely not.
Oh,
No.
wow.
Definitely. But look, I mean, the player that really is going to be class, and I've been saying it for months on end, Zubamende. You just watch him. He is class. Seriously. Gyökeres is an unknown, but I think he'll be okay. Just watching him, he looks good. But our problem is, and if you've just been any of the friendlies, I've watched them all, and they've been hard. We can't score, and that's been the problem. If Gyökeres sort of hits the ground running, starts scoring, great, but we're relying on one player. You can't rely on one player to score. Our creativity is zero. Odegaard's not playing really very well, and if you can't create for the goal scorer, you're not going to score. You're not going to win. We're going to have a good season. Don't get me wrong. We're hard to beat, and we've still got a great defence, and our midfield is really good in defending. But that's it. So I can't see us winning the league. I see us coming. I don't want to say it again, second or third, and unless we get Eze, I'm not going to. I don't know if you've looked at any of my blogs. I won't predict the league at all at the moment until the transfer window is finished. Right. Once we know the transfer window is finished, I'm not being horrible here. If Isak goes to Liverpool, we can all forget it. That's the league gone.
I agree.
But if he doesn't, and we, for instance, get Eze and Rodrigo, then we're in with a chance. So I think it's difficult at this moment, but But standing at the moment, we won't win the league because our creativity is not there. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, if you get Eze and Rodrigo, that'd be quite some window. But I think it will probably be one or the other, if any at all. But I agree. Like we'll come to Liverpool, but Liverpool get Isaac. We might as well pack up. Get home.
Do you think so?
I've said it. They should get. They'll probably win the next 4 out of 5 Premier League titles if they sign them. To be fair, unless they do something.
No,
they would.
Honestly, last season, I know they won the league, but watch some of their games. They weren't that good.
Hold on.
They were the most. I think last season, they were good last season, but I think they were a little bit fortunate that they were the only proper good all-round team that didn't blow up at some point in the season, if you know what I mean. Everybody else had a bit of a crisis or an injury crisis or capitulated.
We've all seen it is what an incredibly difficult task, hence why only, I think, Chelsea, City and United in the last 30 years have done it to win back.
Oh, yeah, I agree. It's tough for
them.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't see him doing it. I think they've got a big bunch of problems that they haven't sorted out.
What do you think? What do you think the problems are? Sorry.
Well, the Mohamed Salah thing isn't sustainable. He can't. They know he can't stay. They know they have to sell him because otherwise his market price is going to dip. Everybody knows he's going to go over to Saudi Arabia at some point. So it's either going to be in the winter transfer window because otherwise they lose the whole price on him. He isn't. Yeah, he had a great season last year, but it's very much an Indian summer. I just think that they are not quite as good as what people think they are. I think other clubs in the league made them look a lot better than what they were.
I agree with that. What I would say to you is that before we got Gyökeres and we were looking at Sesko, there was arguments within Arsenal who we should get. And my feeling is that actually Ekitike is the best out of the three of them. Liverpool have got the best. You watch him. He is fantastic. You're now looking, they've got, in my opinion, they've bought the best centre forward that was available, except for Isak. Okay. So
not available.
He's not available. They've bought a fantastic centre forward. They've bought probably one of the world's best midfield players. Wirtz is fantastic. He is incredible.
Yeah, he's
agree.
And you've now got two fullbacks who are actually Frimpong is world class, and Gyökeres is brilliant. So they've actually now got two basic wingers supporting Salah, supporting Gyökeres with Wirtz and McAllister, who's a World Cup winner.
Yeah.
How can you beat? And on the left-hand side, let's see what they're going to do there, because Diaz has gone. I accept that. But when you've got, listen what they've done. They've got the spine is now Ekitike and Wirtz and Van Dijk, and the fullbacks are now incredible. They've improved the team with world-class players.
They are.
You know,
Liverpool will sign Isak. I got wind of this maybe 2-3 months ago. In fact, I think I mentioned it on here. That he would not be at Newcastle this season.
Mm-hmm.
The key to the transfer market at the moment, especially the big names that are going, get the player first. Now, that has clearly happened with Isak. Liverpool have gone, they've tapped him up, as the phrase used to be. Now, it invariably works. Not always. Not always. I can give you one example where it hasn't worked. This summer, Morgan Gibbs-White from Forest to Spurs. Morgan Gibbs-White was got at by Tottenham. He said he wanted to join Tottenham. But the Forest owner, whose name escapes me, the Greek chappie, he decided to play hardball. And blow me, not only does he intercept that move, and he gets Gibbs-White to sign a new 3-year contract.
Yeah,
when I heard that news, I just stood up and applauded. But I mean, don't anybody think it doesn't happen because it's against the rule or against the spirit of the thing? That the clubs don't go and get the player first and then go to the club, and that's what's happened with Isak.
Yeah,
It was nice to see that went that way, because, as you say, it goes on all the time. I mean, players
going on for years.
I mean, I just hope that Morgan Gibbs White's family isn't tied up in a basement somewhere in Nottingham. But it's
on a Greek island somewhere.
Yeah, it'll be a Greek island. Yeah. Maybe it gave them an island. I don't know. But...
Well, we'll skip over Liverpool later because we covered them enough. The next one is Brentford. Welcome, Martin. Good to see you. So Brentford are, as we probably all think, a team that looked like they could be in trouble this season.
Yeah.
Bremo and Norgard, potentially Wissa going as well. Who've they got in? They've got...
Well, they've lost their manager to start with. I mean,
the manager going as well was huge, going to Spurs.
And entire backroom staff. And who have they brought in? I can't think of anyone.
Well, they brought in Jordan Henderson.
Right, yeah.
He from Liverpool.
A guy called Milambo, who's about 20 years of age.
Yes.
But I don't know much about him.
From
really.
Feyenoord, I don't know a lot
Henderson is on there as well.
Henderson. So
I think if
6 points, didn't they? So it's going to be interesting what they do this year.
Yeah, I think if a relegation space opens up, I think they're my pick. Depending on how the promoted clubs do, if any of them do well, and if you're picking an existing club to be drawn into it, I honestly can't see beyond Brentford right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think everyone on the panel agrees Brentford are in a bit of a sticky wicket at the moment. And
I think they're going to struggle. It's going to be tough to lose that manager.
Yeah. Statistically, if you look at all the players, statistically, they all overperform the underlying stats. So you'd think that would revert to the norm eventually. And I think I read somewhere that their wage bill and if you look at their transfer activity and their wage bill under Thomas Frank in the Premier League, it's effectively a championship side in terms of money and the figures that go that they pay their staff, they pay their players and everything.
Brentford did well last season, but it was on the back of Mabueno and Wissa. Now, they've lost Mabueno. They're going to lose Wissa. I mean, how do you replace them? I mean, they've had, actually, in fairness to Brentford, they've done well in replacing the number 9s, shall we call them, that they've sold in the past, Ollie Watkins, Troy Deeney.
Yeah.
They've done well to replace them, but to ask them to do it again times 2, I think it is possibly a little bit too much to ask. I hope they don't get relegated because they're a fine club and very well run. But, I don't think they'll be relegated, but they're not going to be as successful as they were last season.
No, they're looking to do a Man United or a Tottenham, aren't they, and just avoid it, really.
I think with Brentford, if you go back a few years, like Southampton were always heralded as this great club that knew when to sell. They produced their own players. They sold them at good value, and they rebuilt every time. But there comes a point, I think, when Liverpool absolutely took half their team over the course of about 2 seasons. I think eventually teams like that just buckle. You just cannot keep doing that year after year after year. And I think they lost a lot this year. They haven't replaced them. And I just think this could be the year they buckle. But I forget the other guy's name there. I completely agree. I really like the club. Brilliant club. I love the everything about them. So I hope they don't go down. As much as there's other teams I'd much prefer to see go down before them.
I'd also point out they have lost their captain.
Yes.
And, the guys get on a bit, and we all think of Mbeumo and we think of Wissa. But, they've lost their Nordgaard. I'm not saying he's a great player, but he is a workhorse, and he
was great for them. He was great for them. I'm not sure he'll be with Arsenal, but he was great for them.
Absolutely. So,
Well, they lost Ben Mee as well. So they got,
Yeah. Well, Ben Mee was released. He wasn't sold. That's a strange one for me that they didn't keep him on.
for Brentford, that's like the Ravens leaving the tower. They may as well pack up and go home.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's with Brentford. I think we all think they're going down, really, or they're going to be one of the candidates.
I think so. I do feel sorry for them. And Martin, I'm going to bring you in because obviously welcome to the show and welcome to your show as well. I feel sorry for Brentford because I think Wiss has done them dirty. And I know we want him at Newcastle quite badly, but I don't like how he's done it.
No, it's not good. By the way, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's good. No, I don't think it's great. I think that's footballers of 2025. Mateus Nunes did the exact same thing when he came to City 2 years ago. He went on strike at Wolves. He basically
forgot about that.
Riyad Mahrez did it when he left Leicester City, if you remember.
Yeah.
City moved twice to Mahrez. First time it was an unnamed club and it was all quiet and he refused to come back off holiday. Harry Kane kind of did it. I just think it's footballers now.
Yeah.
The way footballers
left, didn't he?
What, sorry, Sean?
Kane did it the year before he actually left, and they somehow packed it up.
Yeah,
But
he basically did it to try and get his City move out. He basically refused to come back early and whatever else, and gentleman's agreement, blah, 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 and we ended up signing Haaland. It is what it was. But I just think footballers now are being pushed to do it. It's sad. I'll be honest, I disagree. I think Brentford will go down. I think they'll go down quite easily. They've lost their whole spine of their team is gone.
Yeah. I think if Wissa goes, it's they've lost
the goaler. They lost Ben Mee, I know, which he sent about. They lost Nogard, which was their sort of destroyer in the middle. And they're basically going to lose both their top, the guys who got the goals for them.
Yeah.
And they brought in a rookie manager. And I know that term's not great. But they brought in, what was he, set-piece coach? They said, here you go, mate. It's sad. It's not great, but I think they're going to be in major trouble. Major trouble.
It's a shame because I like Brentford. I mean, they were sort of trying to do a Brighton, weren't they, in a way, like trying to, find gems and then sell them on and then try and find gems again.
I think that's changed, Baz. So I think that's changed, and I've said this. I think the top clubs have caught on to that now. I think the top clubs have gone, you know what? For example, like Victor Hayes and Kushinov that we just bought. You were in for Kushinov. Tottenham were in for Kushinov. City have gone, I'll tell you what, we'll get him now. Even if we've got a loan for a year, we'll get him now at 20 million quid rather than in 3 years' time, we've got to spend 100 million quid. Price tags have got so out of line that this is forcing clubs to do this now. Anyone who's half decent is now 80 million quid starting off.
Yeah.
That can't continue.
No, it can't. Not well.
I think
nice
Chelsea.
I
think Chelsea are the guys, and I don't want to sort of. Well, I will. If you go to a blog of mine over a year ago, the beginning of last season, when all the Chelsea fans were complaining about their ownerships, I actually put up a blog saying, "Guys, you're mad. They're ahead of the game." It was so obvious that at the Chelsea ownership were looking at it as a financial business basis. And seriously, they completely started buying young players, lower salaries, long-term contracts, and just buying them all in and selling them if they weren't good enough, making money on that. And it was obviously a year ago. And I didn't understand why other people didn't see that. And all the Chelsea fans were just absolutely mocking me for telling them that, you've got a great ownership there ahead of everybody. And it's coming to fruition. And I think you're starting to see all the other teams doing exactly the same and starting to follow what they were doing, over a year ago. So
Chelsea wants to watch.
Yeah, I mean,
Chelsea wants to watch this season.
I also said at the beginning of last season, Chelsea would get in the Champions League, win nothing. This season, watch them for the league. And you can check that out in my blog. The beginning of last season, I got crap from the Chelsea supporters. but you could see their young team that they were bringing in and what they were doing. I don't think they'll win the league, but I think we all know now. Everyone is saying that.
I think they've definitely got the best English player in the league.
Yes. Well, can't argue against that.
No.
Anyway, let's talk about Brighton first of all, because Brighton have had a very interesting summer as always. They like to fleece other clubs for as much money as possible. João Pedro going to Chelsea, absolutely gutted, because I thought we were going to sign him. Adingra gone, Estepena gone. And then they've brung in some unknowns again that I've never really heard of. I mean, Watson from Sunderland was a strange one.
Well, he was the guy that scored the goal that got Sunderland into the Premier League.
Yeah, and then he moves to Brighton.
Well, the deal had already been done.
Oh, had it? I didn't know.
Oh,
that.
yeah. He was Brighton bound before he played at Wembley for Sunderland.
Fair enough. I didn't know that.
And they've also got I'm very anxious to see this guy Kostulas. I'm not sure how you pronounce it that they bought, because they recruit brilliantly well.
Yeah.
And I'd not heard of this chap. Maybe I should have done. Don't have my finger on the pulse of European football as I used to many moons ago. But I can only assume if Brighton have paid 35 mil for this guy, he's got to be okay. So he's one of the players I've got on my little list of ones to keep an eye out for.
He played against us in the UEFA Cup a couple of years ago. He was very good.
Is he? Right, good. Well, their recruitment is absolutely spot on.
Yeah,
I'm surprised some of the clubs whose recruitment isn't spot on check who Brighton are lining up and then try and gazump them.
Yeah.
Without even knowing about the player. But if Brighton are in for them, they've got to be decent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Called Diego Capello as well from Verona. He's a very
he was on my list. I don't know much about him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's good. From what I know of him, he's a good player. From
We're all worried about Brighton.
They finished 8th last season, didn't they? Which I expected them to be a bit higher, to be honest with you. But are we expecting them to be better this season, with obviously Brentford not being much of a challenge?
I think Brighton will be up there in Division 2,
yeah. 7 or 8, around about that time.
Yeah, I agree.
Same again for them.
But like we were saying about Brentford and Bournemouth and Brighton's recruitment is always good, but is this another thing where can this go on forever?
I think it can with the scouts they've got, unless, like you said,
even the scouts
get in there. Yeah, potentially, but then they just find better scouts again, don't they? This is the thing.
Yeah, I don't know that that's. I think they're in a better position than what like Bournemouth and Brentford are, because it's one of the things where it doesn't seem to matter what manager they bring in, they do it well. But I just don't know that can go on forever.
Yeah, I mean, because they've been doing it for how many years now?
Nothing goes on forever. Liverpool's, they dropped out for 20 years. Man U dropped out for nothing lasts forever. You're right.
I'm talking to a Villa fan. I know nothing lasts forever. Don't worry about
that. Sorry, that wasn't a thing. That's where we are.
Let's have a little chat about Burnley, because Burnley are very interesting this season. They've obviously lost James Trafford to Man City because of a sell-on clause that they had. Obviously, Newcastle were very interested. They're bringing quite a lot of players, but no standout players. I think probably one of the best ones for them is Kyle Walker. I know he's passed it a little bit for the top level, but I think he's an excellent addition to their team. He's a winner. He knows the Premier League very well, obviously. He's won everything. So he's a good one. But they have got a lot of new signings to bed in. Humphreys from
didn't bring in Brozier yesterday?
Yeah, Brozier is another one who's just been added. They brought another one in from Chelsea for 28 million. Hugo Chukawa, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Close.
Talented youngster.
Chukawa, maybe. I think it's.
Yeah. I actually
he's a good player, actually.
They've surprised. I think Burnley have been clever.
Yeah.
on this. Walker, bags of experience.
13 players have signed. 13 players. Got
Don't get me wrong, guys. If Kyle Walker can keep his thing in his pants, he'll be fine. That's a different story, I guess.
Well, that's why he's gone to Burnley, though. He hasn't been around there.
I know, but worries me though, if Grealish ends up at Everton and Kyle Walker's at Burnley, they're too close together, those two, to start doing this little, like that they're very known for. That worries me, which I'll get into later if I want to talk about Jack in Everton. But,
don't you worry.
It's going to be interesting. I was going to say it's going to be interesting to see how Burnley do defensively, because last season in the Championship they were breaking records. They're absolutely rock solid, and I know the goalkeeper was a big part of that. But you'd like to think the organisation in the defence
as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Esteve's a good centre back, and got a few others. And Walker, you'd think could only improve that, or like at least provide better backup. So it's going to be interesting. For me, it's a nice experiment, because you see a lot of teams come up and they want to play football and then just get annihilated 9-0 by City. So it'll be interesting to see a club for a change actually try and do it the other way.
Yeah,
they brought in Zabi as well from Ipswich, and they brought Bradford from Newcastle. Yeah. They're a good couple of signings.
Yeah, exactly.
They bought 2 keepers, haven't they? But there we go.
Can I just say about Walker? I'd like to disagree with everybody. I'm sorry, guys. I think Walker was finished, and forget what's been going on in his personal life. Walker was a great player. Speed, that was it. He went to Italy, and they caught him out. I mean, literally realised straight away he's lost it, and he relied on speed. He's totally lost it. And when I last saw him playing sort of in the Premier League, he was, sorry guys, he's finished. So to bring him on just experience, every team now is just going to hit him and go down that wing, because he's not got it anymore. And I think that was a bad signing.
Walker primarily has been bought for the dressing room.
100%.
To be a leader inside the dressing room. I don't think he'll play a great deal for Burnley this season. But I think Burnley have gotten an embarrassment of, and I wouldn't say riches either, but they brought a lot of players in who I don't know, might struggle to hit it off in the Premier League. I would think Burnley will be aiming for 17th. I think they're really, I think they're going to struggle.
Yeah,
I said I was interested to see how they go, but I still definitely put them in the battle at the bottom. I wouldn't put any money on them finishing mid-table or anything, but it's just going to be interesting to see how, if they keep that organisation going, if they can maintain it in the Premier League, and just how the approach that they take to the league, if they take the similar sort of approach. But I definitely put them in the, they'll be amongst the clubs battling relegation for sure.
I think it depends what they've learned, doesn't it? I mean, they were here not last year, year before, and I think sometimes that can make a great deal of difference, because they came up, everyone said, played great football under Vincent Kompany, and we all know that that's a lovely pipe dream, but you have to be realistic with what you have and play to your strengths. And obviously they got annihilated. What have they learned? Because the people in charge there have to have gone, right, this isn't going to be that again. And as for the Kyle Walker thing, I completely agree on the front that he is finished. I think it's one of these things. It's a weird one, because on the pitch, that experience thing, that only really works if it's a centre back or central midfielder. They could be put in positions where their reading of the game can maybe allow them to not have that shred of pace. But it doesn't work with a right back or a left back or a winger or a striker. That's not going to work. So as Elton said, in the changing room is probably where that's going to be most used, or on the training ground from somebody who's been there, done it, so on and so forth. But I think they're gonna have a tough time. But I think they do have some players there where they could stay up. they just need to be realistic about their aspirations.
I look at their potential starting 11 without Walker, and I think that's a championship team.
Yeah. I mean, they've got, like I say, 13 players to bed in, so it's going to be very interesting how that all pans out. We touched on Chelsea enough, obviously World Club Cup winners and all that sort of stuff. They are looking quite a tasty team, so we'll skip over Chelsea. We'll go to Crystal Palace after winning the Charity Shield today. I was actually quietly surprised at how well Palace played, but we shouldn't really be, because they haven't lost anyone really, have they? They've kept the same group together. Hard to beat. They play a low block and they're very quick on the counter. So Eze is obviously the big worry for them. Is he staying, Martin, do you think, or do you think he'll leave?
No, I think Eze will leave. I think he'll go to Arsenal. I think that'll be Arsenal's final probably signing.
Do you put them in the bottom 7 then because of if Eze leaves?
No, because I think their manager will keep them out of it. I think they've actually got they've got a class manager in Glasgow. I think he's very, very good. I'm not gonna probably. I mean, it depends how they do.
They haven't really signed anyone, have they? They've only signed.
I think you'll find Gahey will go to Liverpool.
I was going to ask. You're talking about Eze, but Gahey's only got a year left on his contract.
He'll go to Liverpool.
They don't sell.
I'm hearing in January Tottenham bid allegedly 17 million. Apparently, I hear they'll accept a lot less now because they know he'll go on a free otherwise. So I think you might be able to get him for 40 million.
See, I'm the opposite. I think Palace will be all right with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They might accept it.
I think players are cottoning onto this free transfer now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cottoning onto it.
You'll get more money. You'll get a bigger signing on fee if you wait till the year.
Yeah,
I would. I'd run my contract down every time.
I mean, if you think about it, Palace are in European football. They've just won the I know it's the really poor Charity Shield, but they still look a decent outfit. So staying there for one more year is not going to ruin his career. It's not going to ruin his England chances because, let's face it, we don't have many great English centre-backs at the moment. So he could sit there and think, well, I can just go to Liverpool next season on a massive contract with
I don't see Liverpool smacking another 200 million out on fees and then God knows what on wages. To get Gay and Isak in the door, they're looking at 250.
250, yeah.
Just on two players with wages, agent fees, etc.
Yeah.
I mean, again, they've got money, but I don't think they've got that money.
Yeah. I say this to a Liverpool mate of mine, and he I can't remember the exact quotes he gives me, but he goes, "Oh no, it'll be easy. We sell Diaz, sell blah blah, sell blah blah blah. Get this for Harvey Elliott, blah 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 blah, and then we break even. That's it." And I always sit there thinking, that sounds like a plan, but it can't be that simple. And they do seem to have spent an awful lot of money. So, yeah, I'm a little bit dubious, but on Gahey, it depends what Liverpool or another club does, because I think there's been cases in the past where a team will go to a player and just say, well, you either come now or not at all. We won't come back next year, and they're pushed for the move then. So,
yeah, true. Palace finished. Where did they finish again? Where are they? 12th last season, 53 points. Do we see them improving this season?
About the same for me. I think I really rate Crystal Palace. I hope they win their appeal and get into the Europa League. Sean might not want that though, but
I do because I think it's an absolute disgrace that the manner in which this is all played out. It's it puts a sour taste. Because when that semi-final come up last year, I was like, even though City were in that draw, I was like, please, anyone but Palace. Because Palace are so hard to play. They are just
good manager, good players,
skillful. And they went and whopped us 3-0, and I wasn't surprised by it either. But no, I hope they do get UEFA. I mean, bit of a soft spot as Palace fans in the family. My mother is, but it's one of them where no, they won the FA Cup. They should be in the Europa League. It's
I agree.
Fair. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Good manager, good players. I rate Palace a lot. So yeah, I hope they get in.
I think we all do. But it depends on whether Gay and Eze are there. Their squad hasn't got a lot of depth, and they're in Europe, so that's going to hit them as well. So if they lose those two players, there's not depth. But they're a great team. Don't get me wrong.
They have had the habit of holding on to players over the years, though, haven't they? They don't.
Yeah.
They do seem to be quite good at that, and they do. Their business model is quite solidified in we will sell a player, but if we don't want to. Yeah. It's quite a concrete thing they got going over there. I mean, Steve Parish obviously has a decent run in that club, and Masner seems a fantastic manager. He's the one they need to keep hold of more than anyone.
Yeah. We haven't even mentioned Wharton yet, have we? So
I would. I mean, Wharton, they're looking at 80, 90, 100 million. The one for them, don't they? So I think everyone's put off by the price. To be fair, he's quality footballer. But we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Elton, your team, Everton. Where do we start? You bought me for 30 million.
I have no idea.
Yeah, you bought me for 30 million, Barry. You got
all I know is unless we strengthen in three areas, by the end of the window, I'm not going to say by the time we play Leeds a week tomorrow, but certainly by the end of the window, if we haven't fortified in three different positions, we could be sort of near the bottom of Division 2. But if we sign the players and strengthen in the areas which I know David Moyes wants to strengthen, then I think we'll be up there in Division 2 as opposed to near the bottom of Division 2.
Right. I mean, you let go quite a lot of players, but you have bought some decent players. I mean, Dewsbury Hall should never have went to Chelsea. I thought he was a very, very good player.
Well, he was a terrific player at Leicester. Yeah. And I don't know, I think he just got swamped by the number of signings Chelsea have made. But Dewsbury Hall was their mainstay in winning the Europa Conference last season. Yeah, he played in every game. I think I'm right. He might have even played every minute of every game in the Conference League for Chelsea last season. So he will have gained an awful lot of experience just by playing in those games. I know that we're not talking about the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas, PSGs of this world, but to play regularly against these foreign opposition, you get to learn so much. Yeah. So I think Dewsbury Hall for 25 rising to £29 million is an absolutely excellent acquisition by Everton. He gives us something our midfield hasn't had possibly for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And I also believe that, again, one of my exclusive fellas, which I got from Jack Grealish's dad about 3 months ago, that Jack Grealish is open to going to Everton because he wants to stay in the Northwest. Right. Now, with it being a loan deal to start with, there's no way City would do business with Man United or Liverpool. Yeah. So, I say, according to Jack's dad, he'd be very open to for a move to Everton on that basis. I mean, the only other club he could go to in the Northwest and stay in the Northwest will be Burnley. Now, that's not going to happen. So I think we've got a very, very good chance of getting Grealish. Talks, apparently, going back to the old get the player first, Grealish is open to joining Everton. He's quite keen on the project. He loves the look of the new stadium. And also David Moyes has told him he wants him to operate in the number 10 role. Mm-hmm. Now, so all that's got to be sorted, and it's no trivial matter, are the terms between the two clubs. The player's okay. He's all right.
Yeah. So, Martin, I'll come to you with that, obviously being it's your player. Do you have any information on the Grealish side of things?
Yeah, he wants to stay in the Northwest. He's very settled in Cheshire with the rest of the wags and everything else. Just had a new baby. So that's part of the reason he does want to stay where he is. Yeah, it looks like Everton will be the destination. Tottenham have come in, as Tottenham generally do, with a late sort of, here we go, trying to...
Well, that's because of the injury, isn't it?
Yes, I think the Madison injury, but it looks like they're going to move for McAtee more, even though he was lined up to go to Forest. But Grealish, yeah, apparently City were willing to do no loan fee as long as his 300 grand a week wages were covered by the club. Now, Everton can't afford 300 grand a week. Not many clubs in world football, never mind bloody Premier League, can afford 300 grand a week. But I think there'll be a compromise, whether it's 2, City do 100, whatever. It'll be.
That's what I've heard, Mike. I've heard Everton to pay 2/3.
Yeah, it's going to be based. I think it'll be 200 with Everton, 100 by City, and I know. And the thing is, I think it'd be a great signing to go into the new stadium. It's a statement signing.
Yeah.
Well, also, he's, I mean, Everton isn't called the People's Club for nothing. They're very strong in the community. And Jack Grealish is absolutely terrific, working within the community, etc. Yeah. So there's a lot to be said.
I will say, Elton, I do think you're going to need to keep him on a tight leash.
Oh, listen, you can't do anything about that.
But there is a reason he has come out and say it now.
Moisey will say to him, look, if you want to go and have a night out, go and have a night out, but let me know. It'll be an arm around his shoulder, not a kick up his arse.
No, I get that.
He's 29 going on 30. He's not, if that's what he wants to do, if that's his way of unwinding, then it's not going to change. I don't see it affecting his play at all. Not in the slightest.
No.
I think you're looking.
It affected his training. I do know it affected his training. It really affected his training.
When he was at Villa, he was great for the area and Birmingham Council because of obviously the amount of fines and court fees he paid. But he's a great player. You get him working. He's a great player.
Oh, of course he is. You just got to put your arm around him and love him. And I hate to say it, a bit like George Best in a way. Let him get on with it as long as he.
The crazy thing is, we were at the open training session last week. Early this week, and everyone was there talking Cherky, the old kid caboodle, Foden, Haaland, a lot. Do you know who was the most popular player out of everyone? Was Jack Grealish.
It surprised me because
I'm telling you now, it was like Tom Cruise was out on a pitch. His nice little ponytail and everything. He was the everyone wanted him. Men, women, children. They were lining up round the block to get a picture with him.
Brilliant.
Yeah, he's lovable rogue. That's what he is.
Yeah.
Is this a not counting podcast? Brilliant. Anyway, let's move on.
We've got another saga on the board as well. Tyler Dibbling from Southampton.
He would be a signing.
The thing that worries me a little bit about this is that we have no competition for Dibbling.
I don't know why.
At 19, I've heard him described as the best young player in the country of his age. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to go out on a limb and say I agree or disagree with that, but I've seen him play, and he is a very, very skillful player, no question about that. And we need a right winger, believe me. Like Arsenal have needed a number 9 for years. We need a right winger. And although Dibbling is left-footed, he does play on the right. That's his preferred position. But Southampton are playing. Southampton are playing silly buggers. They've moved the goalpost once from a 40 million to a ceiling of 50 million because they are desperate to reinvest for their championship campaign. And having seen them, was it the other night when they? I mean, crikey! I mean, I'm not surprised that the manager there, whose name escapes me, Will Still, wants to spend quite a bit on 3 or 4 players because they were awful. How they beat Wrexham, I really don't know.
It's one of those.
It was incredible. Well, where Wrexham were 1-up with 89 minutes gone, and Southampton equalised, then got the winner. But I can see why they're playing silly buggers, but it could actually backfire on them, because if Everton do walk away, say they got an alternative number 7, let's call him a number 7, a right winger for say 40 million, for example, Kubo. And so we don't need Tyler Dibling. Then towards the end of the window, a club are going to come into Southampton and say, okay, well, 30 million for Tyler Dibling, and they might have to do that.
Well, I think Tottenham held an interest, and I think we were in discussions a while back, but we, like you say, they just wanted too much money for him, so we walked away. And I think Daniel Levy might go back in, like you say, right at the end of the window. That's like a Daniel Levy transfer.
But to try and get him on the cheap. Or
on the cheap, yeah, that's what he does.
Southampton would regard as on the cheap. I personally think for a kid of his age, 19, I reckon 30, maybe with add-ons 35, would be a very, very fair price, to be honest with you.
I agree. I think I saw some reports saying they wanted like 70 or 80 million for him. That's just ridiculous. You're never going to get that.
Well, when City looked at him in Jan, and we got quoted 100.
Yeah, they're never going to get that sort of money for him. That just says we're not going to sell. But I think they do want to sell, don't they?
They want to. I told you, they want to sell.
Yeah, exactly.
But not to line anybody's pockets. To literally to reinvest in the squad. The manager will still has looked at the squad and said it's not good enough to get out of the Championship.
Yeah.
So he wants to buy 3 or 4 new players. Let's say a £15 million a pop or something like that.
Yeah.
Which would certainly reinforce any Championship side.
Yeah. But they need
I'm sorry, guys. I don't think they're asking too much for him. I think it's business.
They can ask what they want.
Yeah.
But they have moved the goalpost. It's gone from 40 to 50. Now you try messing around with more established clubs, and you're going to get bitten.
Yeah, I agree. Right, moving on to Fulham. Again, no real outs, no real ins for them. That's probably a good thing. I'm not really massively high up on Fulham, but they finished 11th last season. They had a good run. They beat us at St James's Park. They were very good that day. 54 points. Probably the same again next season, Reno?
I would say so. With Fulham, we've got a very good manager. He used to be as stacked as Everton manager. But they've got a very good manager who will make sure that, what you see is what you get with Fulham. The problem is you don't know what it's going to be from one week to the next. They're quite capable of going to Anfield. I mean, this season as well, with all Liverpool's new firepower, etc., and getting a win there. And they're also quite capable of, say, losing at home to Burnley or one of the other promoted clubs. They're just odd, Fulham. I can't weigh them up. So I've long given up trying. To be honest.
I think if they're not careful, it will be a danger season.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't think so. I mean, they've got some decent players there, and they've got.
But all you need is 3 clubs to have a better season than they're supposed to.
Mm.
Yeah,
they've had one signing in.
It's a lot of points to catch up, though, isn't it? I mean, Fulham finished on 54.
Yeah,
and then the teams near the bottom were 10 points behind them. It's a lot of points. To be fair,
I'm always concerned about a team that stays completely still.
Yeah,
I agree with you. I agree with you, but their defence actually, they've got a guy called Bassi. I don't know if everybody watched him.
Yeah,
he looks like Sol Campbell. He's solid as a rock. You don't get past that guy. Robinson,
he's a big guy.
Yeah, Robinson, that left little fullback. Technically, I don't think he's the greatest, but very fast. They've got 3 ex-Arsenal players. If Nelson goes there as well, I think he probably will do. Even though I don't think he's top-notch, frankly speaking. I think their problem is the midfield. It's a bit soft. And that's what happens to them. So they can get rolled over. But if they play a London club like Arsenal, then they go hammer, tong and hammer to win. Yeah. And they can win those games because they want to win that. But they've got some decent players.
Teams like Fulham and Brentford are those teams when you you look at their points at the end of the season and go, I don't remember them winning. When did that happen? That's Well, no, I completely. I know we lost to Bournemouth. But the thing is, this is that thing of if a team stays still too long. Yeah. Now, for all the will in the world, they should be fine. They have a decent manager. They have some decent players there. Yeah. But it's.
I expected more from them in this window, to be honest with you. I expected a few more signings. So.
I would assume so, yeah.
Right, let's move on to Leeds, another promoted club. Football Confidential will come to you. We've got Perry, we've got Stash, they've got Longstaff from Newcastle. I think it's a very, very solid signing for them. Goodmanson, who else? What is that? Bajol?
I read a quote by Daniel Farker today, who said we are not ready, and he actually said offensively to take on the Premier League as yet. Right. He's happy with, I think, sort of defensive midfield and the back four. He seems to be happy there, but he's not convinced about their power going forward.
That's what you want to Leeds fan, isn't it? Well, they money on your season ticket.
I think out of the promoted teams, they look like probably the best bet to stay up. But they have lost. They did have Manuel Salomon last season, who got a lot of got a lot of goals and assists for them. Whether or not he goes back there because he's not really wanted at Tottenham. I hear reports that Thomas Frank wants to give him a go, but I think if he put 20-25 million on the table, you can have him. I think Leeds. He was at Leeds last season, so that kind of is a natural fit, isn't there? So whether or not that happens,
they've got the means and the will and the knowledge and the know-how to stay in that league.
Yeah, I think the manager hasn't got a great record in the Premier League, has he? I think he's had some disasters in the past. But, so whether or not he's learned, we were talking about earlier about teams going up, learning, going back down, and then back up again. Maybe the manager learned from his previous experiences and wants to give it, maybe he'll have a better crack at it this time. But
he's got vested interest, after these time of Norwich.
I was actually surprised that he didn't get sacked, to be honest with you. I know it sounds really horrible to say. I thought they would go for someone who was a bit more Premier League proven with all the money they're splashing.
They wouldn't be the first team to do that, would they?
Exactly.
I think Leeds were literally 3 games from actually not getting promoted last season. If you remember the end of the season, they struggled. And it was only United sort of actually dropped off. And they
faded away.
Yeah, they did fade.
It was only
a lot of clubs do that though, don't they?
United tanked it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I felt Fark when I watched, I did watch Leeds every single game because I love the way they play. You've got to accept that. But and I don't want to say this word because everybody accuses us, they bottled it. Yeah. You could see they were so hungry and eager to win the game. They literally, and I don't want to be rude here, they were doing a Postecoglou and they were throwing everything forward to score. And their goalkeeper, he should have been dropped weeks before he was making mistakes. The defence was shaking. Yeah. You could feel them shaking.
Melanie, I liked him as well. I thought he was an all right goalkeeper.
I've never rated him. He was linked with Tottenham for a while. I never rated him. I didn't want him at Tottenham.
But I blame the manager for that, and I don't think Fark's up to it. That we'll find out next season. But I don't think he's going to be up to the Premier League. I just don't, and I think that could cause Leeds problems. We'll find out.
You'd assume this is his last go at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure he'll get another crack, but they're definitely like, they're one of the teams which I look at and I think they'll definitely be in the relegation battle like Burnley, but they might, if they get a win behind them, and they could do better than previous promoted teams.
Yeah, I think Leeds are one of the ones that look equipped to battle out games, and then they're not going to blow teams away. And normally when I think of a Leeds team, I think of a tactical. But the way they've done the transfer business, they look like they're getting a very solid baseline.
Yeah,
and they're maybe going to be lacking the goals, but I think they might.
They'll need to make Elland Road a fortress, basically.
Yes,
absolutely.
Pretty much.
I was actually just about to use those exact words. Yeah. It always has been a fortress. I remember them, decades ago. You go to, I presume you guys have been to Elland Road.
I've never been.
I mean, as an away fan, you go to Elland Road, I swear on my life, you have to run when you go out. I was a lot younger then. It was a fortress. It seriously was. The crowd are on top of you. They are loud, aggressive. It's an incredible place. Anyway.
It's a great ground, but don't let you forget it.
Yeah. Right. Martin, Man City. Only 2 signings so far. So we did a lot of your business in January, though. But Trafford in.
Sorry? 5.
I've only got 2 on here. June there. Your Rendeners, Turkey.
You mean Renders?
Whoever you pronounce his name, I don't know. But the big thing for me, though, is Kevin De Bruyne leaving. I love Kevin De Bruyne, but it was time, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got a clue what Pep Guardiola might regard as his best 11. Not a clue. I mean,
Pep roulette, isn't it?
Pep roulette.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think I don't understand. They're going under the radar. He bought 2 or 3.
I'm happy with it.
Players.
Keep doing it. Let everyone write us off. I'm so happy with this at the minute.
Yeah.
I put Man City top 2, definitely.
Yeah, and I put Mamouche in my fantasy football side. That guy is going to tear. He's going to tear defenses to pieces when he comes through. And the only doubt I have, your left fullback side, that left defensive side, looks weak. The right defensive side looks weak, and I feel that's the concern. And Bernardo Silva is, I think, better than De Bruyne personally over the last 10 years, or however long he's been there. But he's getting on a bit. He can't. He won't sustain a whole season, and without him in that team, and if Rodri doesn't hit, as I was saying with our players, if Rodri is not the player he was a season ago.
Well,
he's injured as well.
Rodri's not going to play until probably the middle of September at the earliest.
Well, so I'm saying Rodri and Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva will be great at the beginning, but at the end of the season, he's going to tire. He can't play him every game like he used to. And unless Rodri is the player he was a year ago, but I still think they're going to be a great team, and I think they're going to be in the top 3, 100%. I think if we underestimate them, then I think we're all daft.
I'll be completely unsurprised if they won it.
Sorry?
I'll be completely unsurprised if they won it.
No, come on.
No, yeah. Oh, of course, yeah. I think Shirky's a great player as well. I love watching Shirky. He's so entertaining to watch. I love watching it. He was linked with Tottenham a while back, but then once Man City came in, we stood no chance. But Shirky's a great player. I love him. And
I think what they were missing was the workhorse of Rodri, because when they brought Haaland in the previous season, it's this way of Pep Guardiola going, right, okay, how do I play this game with 10 players and Erling Haaland, hence why he scored like nearly on 60 goals. That's why I don't think it's coincidence that when Rodri isn't in the team, because he's that man that makes up almost 2 players and then gel together. But if they bring in more workhorses, they've lost the likes of Kyle Walker and people like that were probably slowing the processes down. I wouldn't be surprised if, they come back and absolutely fire it.
Yeah. Interesting. Martin, come on, let's have your big say
Yeah,
on it.
I want to hear what Martin has to say as well.
If Trafford going to start, I need to know for my FBL.
I'll be straight. People think I'm crazy. I think we'll win the league.
No one's going to say that you're crazy because we just expect it.
No, because I know a lot of people have written City off. Some too many have got PTSD.
Right.
We've got to realise City have not just changed players, we've also changed our whole backroom staff. And that's majorly gone under the radar. We brought in Pep Linders, James French from Liverpool. Well, Pep Linders from RB, wherever it was. James French from Liverpool. Colo Torre promoted up from the academy. And the three of them have come in like a breath of fresh air. Absolutely breath of fresh air. Pep Linders is doing with our front three what he did with Liverpool when he did the Firmino, Mane, Salah, when they were just interchangeable, quick, fast. No one was keeping up. He's done that yesterday. And even about the Al Hilal game, Al Hilal was getting caught in transitions, which we do get. But from an attacking point of view, we were creating 35 chances a game with quick lightning football. And the thing is, I don't think anyone's got a squad as deep as ours. I have major doubts on Liverpool, not because of their 11, because of their squad. I think Liverpool are more open defensively than City are. And I've always thought that, and you saw that today as well. Liverpool wide open at the back. And they've got three centre-backs. They get one injury, they're finished. To me, Rodri coming back in September, no one in world football's got a player like that coming back to fit in. I don't care who they sign. Tijani Reinders, I think, will be the signing of the season. Yesterday, he looked like a young Ilkay Gundogan breaking from late, coming into the box and scoring. Cherky reminds me more of a David Silva than a Kevin De Bruyne. As in, he's all over the pitch. Yesterday was right wing, 10, advanced sort of second striker, then went into the 8. He was all over the place. And you've still got to fit Phil Foden, Josko Gavardio, etc., into this squad.
Nate Norrie as well. He's a great left back. I love him.
Yeah, like I said, James Trafford, Edison. I think Trafford will be the number one. I don't think he'll start as number one. I think Edison will start as number one. And then it'll go to Trafford. But there's a buzz about it now. There's a buzz about Pep. There's a buzz about the players. There's a buzz about the whole camp.
Yeah.
We'll just see. But
can I ask who's your back four? Can I just ask who's your back four?
At the moment, who's the back four? Who's the best back four?
Yeah, absolutely. Who's the best back four?
For me at the moment, on fitness, I'd probably go John Stones at right back.
John Stones?
Yeah.
Fine. Okay.
I would go. Ain't Nordic, because I know he's going to play that. And then probably a Gavardio. I mean, I'd go with yesterday on his performance. You know, for me, it will be Diaz Gavardio, but it could also be Gavardio, Diaz Gavardio, Kushinov. I don't know. Kushinov, I would play with his pace because then he covers the transitions. He's very, very quick. And the one thing he showed me yesterday was composure, which he hasn't showed me before. Normally, he's like a freight train. He just runs into you, knocks you down, and takes the yellow card and says thank you. Yesterday, he was very, very composed. Very composed. And he was playing on the left-hand side as well. The reason I'm saying John Stones is
I thought they were going to release him. Aren't they open to somebody? Aren't they open to sort of offers? That's what I had.
Well, John Stones is going nowhere. John Stones is Pep Guardiola's boy. He was one of the first, as Elton knows, he was one of the first boys into Pep's revolution when he first walked in. And Pep loves Stones. And to me, this is going to sound very, when you talk about Diaz, I think he's the best centre-back we've got when he's fit and on form. The trouble is, the guy's not fit. His body's broken down, sadly.
John Stones, you mean?
Yeah, and there's only so many painkiller injections you can whack in somebody's body before you go.
That's why I'm surprised you're putting that forward, because we know that he's got problems now. He's getting on a bit. He's slowed down a bit. I'm not saying he's not been a great player, but I have heard that they're open to somebody coming in. I actually thought
No.
been a little offer.
No. That was just paper and Twitter talk. I think he'll do his 10. I think it'll be 10 years this year. So he'll get his stank
testimonial and all that
mosaic at the training ground, and I think he deserves it. To me, he's a Rolls Royce of a footballer.
Yep, I agree. So Man City winning the league, everyone. Man United next. I mean, Man United throwing money onto a fire, aren't they? In my eyes, to be completely honest with you.
Well, if I can have first crack at United, they will undoubtedly finish in a better position than last season.
You would hope so.
But I cannot understand. I cannot cope with the arrogance of that club. Jim Ratcliffe, the Glazers are arrogant, although we don't see too much of them. I think that I let Ruben Amorim off the hook. By the way, he seems okay, but the arrogance of the club as an entity really gets me going. I hope, despite they've got a brand new forward line, which on paper looks very, very impressive. Yeah. I stand by my feeling that there is something wrong at Old Trafford, Carrington, whatever it is. There's something fundamentally wrong, which it doesn't matter who you buy, who you make as manager, something is wrong there. And I hope it comes back to bite them. Because I can't stand the arrogance of the place. Old Trafford is falling apart. But I've got a feeling they're not going to be challenging up around the 6th position. I just got a feeling they're not going to do that.
No, 9 foot below.
I think they're maybe looking at something like, 13th or 14th. Maybe that's just wishful thinking. I like that. I like that. But I think they're going to get their eye wiped.
They are in a strange situation. Until they accept, and this isn't just the people at the club, this is the fans, this is the players, this is everyone. Until you accept where you are, then it's not going to change. Everybody's always going to be unhappy. You need to accept that the targets are different. You need to accept that what you are trying to do is not what you were trying to do 20 years ago. It's a strange one because it's actually fertile ground for a really good footing, but it's like they just keep pissing on all the crops. It's like look at the players that've gone in there. They should really have a great front line. Rasmus Højlund, who's there already, he's, from what I can see, he's a good striker. But the problem is that place is just rotting players. Look at Scott McTominay. It's no coincidence.
That was a stupid idea selling him. I said that when they sold him.
Yeah.
I took a lot of heat because I said that I was having
midfielder, and he wasn't. He never was. It's crazy.
I think they've gone too top heavy.
Yeah, they haven't sorted out the actual problem they've got.
Yeah, I keep hearing that. Oh yeah, their defense is okay. They needed more in the. Yeah, I don't. I was looking at it, I think I don't rate that defence at all, and their keeper is awful. I've never rated that keeper at all, ever. I remember like the Ajax semi-final against Tottenham. We were 3-0 down, then 3-1, then 3-2. He just kept getting the ball into play, and I was watching it thinking, "This is brilliant stuff. This is exactly what we want." And then he a couple of those goals he could have saved, but even when he was getting rave reviews in Italy, I never really rated him. But
I don't think he's that bad. I think the problem is that it becomes a game of probability, doesn't it? If your defence in front of you isn't stopping anything, eventually,
as well, though, isn't it?
I just think with goalkeepers in the modern game, I think when you're too much of a character and you're just too much. too much.
Well,
It worked in the old days.
What are you saying? But when did this start? When did goalkeepers wanted to start it being seen? Like,
I think Martinez gets away with it. He's one that gets away with it. But I think when I don't want my keeper to be too busy, if you know what I mean, from his own perspective.
Well, so yeah. The Ramsdale.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, precisely.
It's my concern about Jordan Pickford for England.
Sorry?
It's my concern about Jordan Pickford with England. It's this thing. He wants to be involved, and you're like, no, we were far away from where you are. Thank you.
I do feel a bit sorry for Man U.
What? Never say that, Reno. Never say that. No,
I do. Maybe it's because we're in the same position, and we're accused of the same things. But guys, I mean, you can complain about the ownership, etc. I'm not saying there's not things going wrong there, but ultimately, the managers, the guys that buy the players. Okay, they buy the players. They're the guys that put the team together, and regretfully, they've spent loads of money over the last 5, 6, 7 years, and it's the manager's fault. It's simple. At least with Amorim, he's coming in now, and what he's done, he's getting rid of the crap, all the heavyweight, all the people that think they control the club from the changing rooms. The Sanchos, the Antonys, the Rashfords, who think they're better than they are. Gets rid of all the problems in the changing rooms. You can't do it all in one go. So now he started with his forward line. How do you win games? Your forward line. Okay, that's why Arsenal don't win the league, because we haven't got a good forward line. The next stage is midfield. And look, if he gets Belieber, is the guy's name Belieber?
Yes, right.
You've got Belieber, Bruno Fernandes, Manu in the middle. That's pretty, and Diallo, who's can hit that. That's a fantastic midfield. He's brought in. Is it Dogu or Drogbu, the left fullback?
Yeah, Dogu.
Yeah. That guy is tremendous. The first defender he's brought in, or is it the first one? He is tremendous. So, yeah, he needs another centre-half. He needs a goalkeeper. But if you see what he's doing, if he gets Belieber... So, I love Amorim. I love his honesty. I love what he's doing.
Yeah,
therefore, you've got to blame the managers in the past for buying the wrong players and not being strong enough to actually sort the changing room out. That's how I see it. I mean, that's
they've got rotten apples in there, haven't they?
Yeah.
That they've needed to get rid of for a long time. I mean, Garnacho, first and foremost. It doesn't matter how good you can be the best player in the side. If your attitude stinks and you do things like you get caught wearing a Villa shirt and put it on social media, I mean, for me, that's just like, no, get out of my club immediately. And someone else will buy him because, I mean, all right, even though he looks like he's had his hair cut with a knife and fork, he's a good player. But the thing is, if your attitude is bad, you are utterly useless to everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can
you bring everyone else down 10%, don't you? And then you've got to be a hell of a good player to make up for that.
You've got to be like Cristiano Ronaldo status in his absolute prime. Otherwise, you are essentially ruining everything around you and poisoning the system you're in. And I think that Garnacho is the one I've picked, but I think they've got a few of them.
Yeah. Let's quickly move on because we're running out of time, guys.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
We're running out of time. Newcastle, obviously, the next one. Obviously,
everybody cheer!
Yeah.
Got there, guys.
Apparently, this has been going around Twitter. I don't think it's true, to be honest with you, that Isak is apologising and now wants to be integrated back into the squad. I don't think that's actually happened, to be completely honest with you. I am very worried about our season because at the moment we are toothless up front. I was at the game yesterday and I know we played on Friday as well, but we've got no strikers. So unless we get Wissa in very quickly, Saturday is going to be too soon. It's not looking good. So
Did Gordon limp off or something like that? I'm not making it up. That's what I heard today.
No, he put on Instagram and he just twisted his ankle. He's all right.
Okay.
I saw an interview with Eddie Howbaz. I presume it was recorded on Friday, and he looked shattered.
Yeah.
He does.
He really looked like it was just getting on top of him.
Yeah.
I mean, how many players have been going to Newcastle and then haven't? You know,
9.
Yeah.
9 goal. 9.
it looks like it's really getting him down.
It doesn't help that he's had a pretty bad illness as well,
Yeah, of course.
which he's still fighting to be 100% over it.
Yeah,
Newcastle's doing his level best to not kill him.
Yeah, well, yeah, basically. Yeah. Newcastle job should always come with a health warning. It really should. But yeah, I'm worried about
Don't
this.
forget, we had Gerard Julio. He had to leave because of illness.
Yeah. Joe Kinnear, he left because of illness as well from the Newcastle job. So that tells you everything, doesn't it? But current state of affairs, 8 to 12th. Unless we sign 2 strikers, then we'll be back into that top 8 shout, to be honest with you. So Isak is...
Alanga's still playing, though.
Yeah, great signing. I was very impressed with him yesterday. He can beat a man both ways, so it makes him unpredictable. Unlike Barnes,
I think
Barnes
you
always
get some tune out of him.
Yeah, definitely. But again, when he was crossing the ball, there was no one in the middle. So
second or third in Division 2.
Yeah, so I think it all depends if we get a striker or not. If two. And
second or third in Division 2.
I think you also need another.
I'll be interested to see. I'll be interested to see how you deal this time round with Champions League and League.
That's the problem.
Because but you I think it's same manager. It's a lot of the same players. I think that's a good thing, and I think we'll deal a bit better this time.
Marek Chow is a great signing for us. Who's
that's a very good point about the Champions League. Listen, I would say that Newcastle need, 4 players in addition to into the squad, and that is sort of going with Isak staying. Which as I say, I don't think he will, because he's told Liverpool that he wants to join them. And I think that's still the most likely outcome there.
Yeah. On the basis, you're going to need 2 strikers, and then you're going to need cover elsewhere.
Yeah, we still need.
You're playing,
Go on, Reno.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking. That's what I said earlier. Because that's the points I was making. Your midfield is honestly, it's one of the best. Joe Linton, he's the horror story for Arsenal. He's the guy that beats us. He is. Forget Guimaraes and Tonali, who are great players. He's the guy that does us. Yeah. So once he gets injured, as he did, you lost your bite in the middle.
Yeah.
You need another class midfield player. That's what you need. Alanga's fantastic. If you keep it, you need another forward, definitely.
Yep,
but
definitely.
With the Champions League, you've only got 3, what I would call absolute top-notch midfield players. Okay. Yeah. That's a major problem for you. It's the same as Arsenal. We've only got 3 top-notch midfield players, and we've got a centre forward maybe. So but we've got no support for him. When he comes off, who scores the goals for us? 0. Exactly. And I think that's your problem. Whether you keep Isak or not, you need another midfield player, and a centre forward. So Elton's correct on that basis.
No, he's absolutely. Forest, obviously losing Alanga was not great for them, but the keeping hold of Morgan Gibbs-White was absolutely huge for them. Do we see Forest still staying up there, especially with the European campaign as well?
No, I don't think that squad's deep enough to cope with Europe and the league. I think they're going to have to make a choice at some point what to prioritise, but I could just see them falling away a little bit.
Near the top of Division 2, I would say. Near the top.
Sunderland coming up.
No.
I've got to be careful what I say here. I have had hate texts from Sunderland.
Of course you will have.
Unbelievable.
All
I've said is that they were lucky to come up because I thought Sheffield United were the better team last season. But I then tried to say, but you scored and they didn't. To try and cover my back. since then, apparently, I'm getting, wow, this guy hates Sunderland. So I'm saying nothing about them.
I think they're bottom three regardless. I don't think they've done enough, to be honest with you. We've got 3 teams left. Spurs, obviously, FC, crack on. What have you made of your summer so far? Obviously, losing Madison is massive.
Yeah, well, oh God, where to start? The thing is, we needed another creative player anyway because Kulusevski had an operation in May.
Right.
People are talking about, yeah, he's a big player for us, but people are talking about, oh, he'll be back in September, November. No way. He had a patella surgery in May. That's a 6 to 12 month rehab. So I'm considering him a write-off for most of the season. Madison, he was called, I think Leicester fans nicknamed him Mr. 33% or something like that because he's injured for 33% of the time. Not very good for the other 33% of the time, and then good for 33% of the time.
Yeah.
So we kind of we couldn't rely on him for the whole season. Kulusevski's out for most of it, so we needed a creative player anyway. And now Madison's done his ACL. If we rewind about a month and a half, it was all looking brilliant for us. We'd just signed Kudus. We offered the release clause for Morgan Gibbs-White, which we never do. There were credible rumours that 300 million was being pumped into the club either from ENIC or outside investment. Daniel Levy was going to be marginalised. Joe Lewis has brought in Peter Charrington to the board. He's a troubleshooter to sort things out. So it was all looking rosy, and then since then, Morgan Gibbs-White didn't happen. Half our first team is injured right now. Right now, we don't have Kulusevski, Madison, Solanke, Udogie, and we've just sold Son. So that's like half our team from last season. Good players that we can't select. The club have sat on their hands, not buying anyone since we bought in Paulinho on loan. He'll be a good player for us. It's kind of what we need to protect the back four, but it's just same old with my club, unfortunately. We'll do too little, too late, like we do every summer.
Wow. That's a fair shout, to be fair.
So many.
I think, hold on a minute. Hold on. Let's get the other side of North London coming in here. Listen, this was same old Spurs last season. Do you know Arsenal had more injuries over a longer period of time than Spurs did? So let's get
I'll debate that. I'll disagree there. I think in terms of actual key players, Tottenham could count all our like youth player injuries as well if we want to. But in terms of key,
hold on, Gabriel, Havertz, Saka, Martinelli. Come on, no.
All at the end of the season. But the longest time we've played Van der Ven and Romero together is like 11 games. We haven't had them for more than 11 games.
Look, that's not the dig. Let me explain what I'm coming to. The problem Spurs had last season really was that your tactics were absolutely appalling. You played gung-ho football when you've got a defence that was absolutely smashed to pieces with injuries. Instead of actually sorting themselves out and doing what Nottingham Forest do and pulling everybody back, and what you did have was speedy up front players. So go on the counter. What you did was you played gung-ho football. Postecoglou was a joke. That's what happened. At this moment in time, I listen to what you say. You've got a great defence. You've got Van der Ven in the middle. You've got Romero in the middle. They're both fit. You've got Porro, who's a fantastic right full-back, and you've got Spence, who's a good, absolutely top-notch left full-back. Your defence is brilliant. So you're talking about Udogie. Where your problem really lies... And I agree with you. Madison's not this great saviour. Your problem lies is that your midfield, you rely on a guy called Bentancur, who's absolutely overrated, and you've got nobody else. They're youngsters. Bergvall is great. Gray is great, but they're kids. And what you needed a Gibbs-White. And that's what you need. It's your midfield that's letting you down, not your defenders. And that's, if you looked at the Arsenal game where we played you, you scored, you beat us, fine. But actually, your midfield, we just tore you to pieces. We can't score, that's our problem. So I'm just saying to you, your midfield is so young and weak and inexperienced.
I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you there. Actually, there's a lot there that I completely agree with. I've always said that our first choice back four is great. I really like Romero and Van der Ven. They're great. Your dog is great. Porro's great. I like both our keepers. Spencer's a backup fullback. The problem is it's just too thin. Romero misses 30 to 45% of games every season. Van der Ven has dodgy hamstrings. I think under Thomas Frank, we won't see as many injuries at the back because doing 40-yard lung bursting runs every 5 seconds is not good for your hamstrings. And with Paulinho, the problem we had last season with our midfield, exactly as you're saying, we just got cut through constantly. But that was because, again, it is again about the tactics, like you said. I think our poor league form was overblown a little bit. We kind of wrote off the league a little bit once we realised what to prioritise. But tactically, completely agree. We had one poor guy sat anchoring the midfield, trying to do it all by himself, and Basuma's not good enough for that. Bentancur is not good enough for that. When you just leave them in, you need to play that role. You need a Kante or somebody like that. They're not Kante.
I think Tottenham's main problem here is that they haven't got the squad for the workload.
No. This is what I'm saying.
And the Champions League, the two together, really, I mean, the Tottenham squad doesn't add up to that. I think kudos, by the way, you haven't brought a game changer. Believe me.
Well, I like Kudus, but the problem we've got is, like I said, we're too thin. We've got no backup. Well, we've got Spencer's backup, but we've got Danso's back at centre back. But I don't rate Davies. We need another fullback. We'll probably play a double pivot in midfield under Frank. That'll protect the back line a bit. But we've got no creativity. We've lost Kulusevski, Son, and Maddison, and they provided 66 goals and assists between them last season. Where is that going to come from? Kudos isn't going to get 20 goals, and then we've brought no one else. So who is going to give us those 66 goals and assists? As per usual, Daniel Levy's sat in his hands. I keep hearing Johan Lange acts. He works in silence and all that. Well, to me, it doesn't look like we're working at all. We're not buying anyone. We're not even selling anyone. It's just Tottenham fans are just pulling their hair out at the moment. It's just so frustrating.
Where do you think?
And we won a European trophy last season. This should be the summer to kick on. For all our faults last season, we won a trophy. But
so did this team.
Yeah. No, we didn't.
Actually, one more thing. The key stat, I put it out this week. Key stat for me is once Son left, Son Heung-min, we've got 3 permanent players in the squad that earn 100k or more. You can't. 2 of them are injured. Kulusevski and Maddison are injured. So really, we've got 1 permanent player in the squad right now who earns 100k or more. Villa's probably got about 18. All our rivals have got about 15 to 20 players on 100k. We've got 3, and 2 of them are long-term injuries. You just cannot expect to win much with that sort of investment and that sort of lack of ambition.
Are you serious about that? I can't believe that.
It's true. 3 players. One Son Heung-min. I think Paulinho must be on 100k or more, but he's alone. And I think it's Kulusevski, Maddison, and Solanke. I think they're the only players on 100k or more in the entire club. In terms of permanent signing. Check my timeline. I put something out this week. They're listing all the top, how it compares to our rivals. It's just ridiculous. It's just, that's the big differential that we have.
Where do you think you're going to finish?
If we'll finish higher than 17th, that's for sure.
Can I just say?
But I do think we've got some really good players in the squad. If Thomas Frank's a good manager, if we can maybe bring 1 or 2 more in, I think we can have a very good season. but I wouldn't be surprised if we have a bad one as well.
Martin?
Yeah, I just maybe it's me, but when I wear, and this is obviously I've never spoiled, no offense. When I hear Tottenham fans moaning about wages, I'm like, your chairman pushed PSR more than anyone in world football.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's the one. Right. The thing is, his big thing. We keep hearing the same stuff from him. Oh, like it's not sustainable. Well, I'm like, I've been here like it's been going on decades now. All these other clubs are winning stuff. They're all paying their players a lot of money. And they're all spending a lot of money. When is tomorrow going to get here? We keep being promised the tomorrow that never arrives. You won't hear any disagreement with me on that. Like Daniel Levy. Again, I put something out this week. He's Schrodinger's chairman, if you know that reference. He'll give himself the biggest bonus because the club is in football history because the club is so well run financially.
Yeah.
We're so sustainable, so well run. We're the 8th richest club in the world, and all this most profitable stadium. So he gets the biggest bonus in football. But then, like, oh, can you buy someone then? Oh, no, we can't spend what we don't have. We've got to spend within our means. Which is it?
Over the last 3 seasons, aren't you the 4th biggest spender in transfers?
That's a bit of a myth, really. The stat that always gets it is because the stat that
take this season out. I think you're the 3rd even. You made me the 3rd.
No, it's a bit of a myth because like the stat that always gets rolled out is that we're the biggest spenders since the stadium opened. Well, a lot of that spending was to repair 500 days plus without spending, 2 years plus buying one cheap player. And if you look at the wages spent over that, I think Arsenal, since we opened our stadium, Arsenal have paid £1 billion more in wages. Over that same period.
I'm talking transfer fees, though.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, if you buy, that's why we bought Solanke because we spent 60 million, but he accepted a lower wage, and over the course of a contract, it's much less than £100 million. £100 million player on a lot of money, or the same player on a lot more money. It's the wages that actually screw us up, and it's
we know that.
It's I keep hearing all this about net spend and all that about Tottenham, but it's the wages over the same period. If you take it as a consolidated figure, we just do not compete. And it's the wages. If you ranked the teams in terms of wage bill, it wouldn't be too dissimilar to where they finish each season. And unfortunately, as I said before, 3 players over 100k or more, and they're the game changers.
Right, wow. Right, moving on. We've got 2 more clubs to go through. We've got West Ham, Martin. West Ham with Mr. Potter trying to wave his wand. Losing Judas. Creswell gone as well on a free. Antonio's left. Zuma's left. Danny Ings is left. Fabianski's left. Fabianski's a weird one for me. Kafula's gone. Casey's gone. I don't know who Casey is, but they brought in Hemminson from Leicester. Callum Wilson on a free. His hamstring's already gone. Kyle Walker-Peters. They've got loads of frees.
Yeah.
I think West Ham. I think West Ham will be one of the clubs battling against relegation this season. I really do.
Yeah.
You don't think someone from Brighton? Sorry, Martin first, guys. Martin first. I asked him.
I don't understand the business. They've sort of sold the silverware and brought in brass.
Yeah.
I don't quite know what. It's very baffling, that. And then you've got Paqueta. Yeah, I'm not. The big thing is, will they be able to keep Paqueta at the end of the window? Because now he's cleared, other clubs will be probably sniffing around. But
Newcastle are apparently.
Yeah,
Tottenham were linked, but I can't see us getting Kudus and Paqueta. No way.
I mean, he would be.
He's only got 1 year left. He's only got 1 year left, hasn't he, on his contract?
I think so.
I think they have to sell him.
Yeah. I mean,
Bowen's their prize asset.
You what? Sorry,
Jared Bowen. He's their prize asset.
Yes,
they could sell him tomorrow, no problem.
They've got Wan-Bissaka, who's a really good player. You know, they've got Somerville, who's a fantastic little player. The 2 centre halves are really good, but they're slow. So what they needed to do was get support. Sorry, my wife, one of my brothers at West Ham, her family are all from sort of Canning Town way, so I get crap from them. Let me tell you, the problems with the fullbacks. They've got Wan-Bissaka now because their centre halves are so slow. That Soufal was absolutely awful. They needed to get rid of him. So they've now got Wan-Bissaka at right fullback. They've now bought this Diouf, who they're going to play at left fullback. They're both fast. They'll be able to cover the centre halves. Diouf plays midfield as well, so he can swap around. They have Bowen up front. Somerville, hopefully, who doesn't get injured, whatever, is super fast. Fulkrug, let's see what happens with him because he's over his injury. Their problem is the midfield again. Souček is getting on a bit. Is okay. Who's the other guy? Ward-Prowse. He's just not up
slow.
It's absolutely slow. So their problem is they need somebody like Elliott, from Liverpool. They need a couple of strong, energetic midfield players that can sort of safeguard the defence a little bit and support the forward line. If they were to get two great midfield players with energy and bite and fight, they'd be okay. But unless they do, they're going down.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
Do you think they've not got enough to stay up considering what's come up?
Yeah, that's what'll keep them up. I think there's three worst teams.
Yeah, that's the only.
It's quite sad, isn't it? There's over the last 2 or 3 seasons, there's a lot of teams that you could say that they're not good enough for the Premier League, but there's too many worse teams in it. I seem to be saying this, like they're not a good team and they should go down, but unfortunately, those 3 or 4 teams are much worse than them. And it's
It's West Ham.
I fear West Ham will stay up. but again, I think as the others have said, they've got a lot of problems.
West Ham fans should have been very careful what they wished for.
Yeah, I should never got rid of Moyes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but they're really
I couldn't believe after they won the Conference League. I couldn't believe how many people wanted him gone. It's just won you a trophy.
There was the following season, I believe there was a situation where they were in 7th, and it was just like midway through the league, and there was West Ham fans talking about it doesn't play our style of football, and we want to be doing better. And I looked at the 6 clubs above them and thought, who exactly do you think you should be above?
Yeah. There's a few clubs that are like that, aren't they? Like Man United.
We're all talking about
years ago. With Tony Pulis, we want to play a different kind of football. Where are they? Got to be careful what you wish for.
Sorry,
remember Charlton back in the day when they got rid of Kirbishley?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're all talking about the relegated teams. We've seen the yo-yo effect all the time.
Yeah.
I remember Leicester when they came, listening to all their fans saying this is the best team that's ever come up from the Championship. Okay, they were playing fantastic football. They came up, they were going to blow everybody away. The naivety of that wasn't just because of course they're on a wave and they're on a high, but the naivety was that the Premier League is very different. It's much faster. The technique, we know all the crap that goes on. What I don't quite understand is that, for instance, Sunderland, we're all saying they're going to go down, bang. They've spent over £100 million. They've got rid of, I don't know how many of their ex-players. Surely some of this is to do with, one, their expectations are too high. They think they're going to come up and smash the Premier League. 2, should they not, that wave of euphoria, instead of getting rid of every single player that's come up, hold back some of them, because the back room, it's in that changing room where that hunger, they're going to want to prove something. And instead of going and buying 10, 11, 12, 13 players, just go and spend 100 million on 3. Absolutely. And this is the Sunderland supporters had to go at me for this. I said, go and buy 2 Premier League players in the midfield, not old boys, but somebody. I always go on about Elliott and Gallagher, somebody like that, just to hit the midfield, who have got experience, know what they're doing, and buy 3, 4 good players. Forget a whole squad of 11 new players. I've never understood this, and I feel sometimes that's what they're doing wrong. And it's
Well,
all
Sunderland, I know, we're going back a little bit with Sunderland, but they've also booked
Sorry.
6 players who will be off to the AFCON as well.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it? And I just think like sometimes there's a World Cup year, so there'll be players that want to play games. They, you know, that I think that's why Grealish wants to go to Everton. He wants to get in the
squad, doesn't he?
Wants to play, get back in the squad, and there must be a handful of players that these often these like exactly as you say, like these promoted clubs should just get 2 or 3 key. Remember, like you mentioned, like Leicester when Leicester came up, they signed Cambiasso, didn't they? And he really settled the ship for them and helped keep them up. And then they won the league. I know he left before the league title, but he just steadied the ship, didn't he? And that sort of signing, you just need 2 or 3 like that.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple of young players looking to prove themselves from the big clubs. Like I know Cole Palmer went to Chelsea; they're a big club. But you know that sort of player, that youth player that is on the rise and wants to play games, and they're the sort of players you should target, I think.
Well, we've got one more club, Wolves. I don't know where to start with Wolves, to be honest with you. I mean, Cunha gone, Itanori gone. Semedo gone on a free transfer. I thought he was an all right player for them.
Has he gone? I didn't realise he
actually. Yeah, Nelson Semedo.
I didn't realise that either.
And then,
I think they've got a good manager, but I think the squad is looking thin, isn't it? Really thin.
Pretty much.
I read today 9 first-team players have left.
Yeah,
I can't name them all, but 9 first-team players have left. That's
wrong with Manchester. What's he on about?
You what? Sorry.
So you don't know about it, but I've got to Manchester and Sunderland now. Wrong with Manchester.
That's what he's saying. He'd rather go to Manchester than go to Sunderland.
Yeah, but Sunderland's obviously the worst place for him.
Yeah, but, you know.
Manchester's not the bloody second.
I love it. Well, Wolves have got obviously a lot of money to spend if they want to spend it. Do we? I don't see them doing it in time.
No, they could be, like we talked about Brentford earlier, they could be a club that could be in trouble. That could be dragged into it. But,
absolutely.
They weren't that. Where did they finish last season? They weren't that far above the relegation places, were they?
No,
in amongst Tottenham and Man U, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got the table here.
16th.
Yeah.
And Man U and Tottenham are going to get better. So.
From the start of the season,
Wolves would do well to finish where they finished last season. To be honest with you,
I agree.
I will say one thing that the first game of the season last season, they came to Highbury and absolutely smashed us, and we got the first goal against the run of play. They smashed us, and we were sitting there thinking, "Oh my God!" We got a second goal. They fell to pieces. They can't score. And so I don't know what's going to happen this season. But they played, honestly, that first game of the season, we sat there. So I had the whole family there, all of us. There were 13 of us at that game. And it wasn't good. You know, we weren't watching a great game. So, you know, with Wolves, it's that sort of team that I don't quite get. If you can't score, you can't win. We all know that. But they played some brilliant football against us last year. We were lucky.
Well, they ran Liverpool really close at Anfield. I remember watching them, and Cunha was running the show. But that's the problem. They've lost it. They've lost Itanori. They've lost these big players now that were decent. So it's going to be interesting for them. Right, we need to end it there because we have run over by 20 minutes. But it's been an absolute fabulous chat with everyone and listening. We didn't even get to the predictions, to be fair. That's how much we've been talking about the league.
As a Tottenham fan, that's a good thing.
Probably, yeah.
I don't want to come second again.
Yeah. You'll come third this year. So 2 things to quickly shout out. Tomorrow night, I have got Graham Bailey coming on after listening to being on Martin's show. I contacted him and asked him if he fancied coming on talking about Newcastle, and he said yes. So we're doing that tomorrow night. That's going to be interesting with all the rumours heating up again. And then on Tuesday night, I'm going to be on Martin's channel. We're sharing another show called The Oil Brothers. We've got to stick together, us Newcastle and Man City fans. So we're looking forward to doing that. So tune in for that on the Mancunian Way on Tuesday night. I think we're doing a 8:15 because I'm at work, and 8:15 for both shows, to be fair. But thank you to Reno, to Football Confidential, to Elton Wellesby, to Sean, to Martin for coming on. I know he's got a show starting at 9:30 on his channel, so if you want to go and listen to some Man City stuff, get yourself over there. I'll let you all know when the next one is, but I hope we can do this hopefully once a week. And it was a great conversation. And yeah, I'll see you all again very soon.
Thanks very much.
Good stuff. Yeah, thank you.
Take care.
Yeah. Bye-bye, everyone.